Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis, and this is for trading on February the 24th, 2021. Just a quick disclaimer here before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. As usual, we'll start off by taking a look at our calendar here. All right, a lot of volatility in the market today. So coming up on Wednesday here, we have monetary policy report hearings here for UK. We still have Fed Chair Powell testifying. So today, essentially, Powell said that we have to continue with the monetary policy as it is right now, and this is kind of what we were expecting. So he basically held everything, or said that we need to hold everything. Also, Reserve Bank of New Zealand, they did the same, essentially held the monetary policy, and as a result of that, we did see a bit of a volatility in terms of the New Zealand. Some people were expecting the Reserve Bank of New Zealand to actually tighten the policies, or at least talk about tightening the policies, because New Zealand has fared really well in terms of managing the coronavirus situation. However, that was not the case. Both the central bankers essentially said that we need more monetary policy support, or Powell said actually they will continue providing the monetary policy support, and then Reserve Bank of New Zealand also said that basically the monetary policy will stay the way it is for the foreseeable future. Now, same thing here for UK as well. If we see that basically the bias is more towards holding the monetary policy in line with what they had before, so that would be that means British pound may actually do well. I would not expect them to talk about tightening it at all at this point, because we're not quite there. So one thing that we are seeing as a positive in UK is in regards to the vaccination. So there is talk about lifting some of the bans here, bans as a result of the vaccination program, or the rollout of the vaccination program, which is doing quite well. So if that is the case, that would be positive. When we get that news, we could see a British pound jump up as a result of that as well. So we have Reserve Bank of New Zealand, Governor Orr speaking, Fed Chair Powell, as well as monetary policy report, from UK. So big, a lot of central banks again here. So we'll keep an eye on that. We also have business confidence numbers out of New Zealand. That will be important. And that is it in terms of the major news here. So let's go on to the charts here. We'll start off with euro dollar. Euro dollar struggling here at this 21.80 level. This is where it had struggled previously. The candle close for the day looks a little weak. So we have a neutral to bearish bias here. I'm looking for price to drop back down into the range. It's still trading in a range. So in this case, the first target here is 1.2080, and then we'll look for a move lower here towards 1.2035 level. So bias here is neutral to bearish for euro. So this is the range it's been trading in, and it still seems to want to stay in there. Pound dollar here, nice move to the upside, as we can see, quite a move up here. Now, there's a lot of volatility in this one, so we have to be careful with this. When we have a sharp move up, it can come back down. So we saw that bounce off of this level. We haven't seen these levels in pound for quite some time. So it went right into our target there, second target, and now it's bouncing off of that level. So keep in mind, we are into these levels that have not been seen since 2018, back in April of 2018. So with the major levels, we could see a decline. So keep an eye. In this case, I'm looking for a pullback towards 1.4120. And if it holds above that, then we could see another leg higher. But then we may see problems again at the high. So that's something to keep in mind here. bias is bullish for the time being, but watch out for the volatility here also because of the central bank tomorrow. Australian dollar here, Australian dollar in this case, right now, neutral bias here. It looks like it did want to go through, but hasn't been able to hold it. So in this case, we may get a decline here as well. So bias right now is neutral. The candle close for the day is completely neutral. Price opened and closed at exactly the same level here. Now it looks like it's failing here. So if it holds below 0.7930, so the same level here that we saw on the top of the pen here, if it holds below, we're looking for a drop towards 0.7875. So neutral bias here for Australian dollar, Aussie dollar. New Zealand here, New Zealand dollar looking bullish. The comments from the central bank were good, and as a result of that, we have seen the move higher. Now, in terms of where it is, this is also into some resistance levels that we have not seen since 2018. So at this point, bullish bias with caution, though, we could see price get into trouble here. It's into the target level that we had set out. So in this case, I will look for another retest of 0.7380. The concern would be one of these. It may turn around here, so watch out for that. So for now, bullish bias, first target, it's already at 0.7380. Second target is 0.7440. So bullish bias with caution though. Dollar CAD here, this one is still struggling. It looks like it was trying to make its way down, but it's not holding. So if it doesn't hold here, this is not a done deal yet. But what we need to see here is if it's not able to hold, what could happen here is we could see a move back into the range. So right now, bias is still neutral at this point, and we just need to keep an eye on the support at 1.2580. If it holds above, then we're looking for a move higher back towards 1.2650. And then above that, we have 1.2720. But if it holds below, then we're looking for a continuation here. But right now, it seems to be struggling, so we have to be mindful. A neutral bias here for dollar CAD. All right, looking at our silver here, silver came back into the range here. This is looking bearish. So at this point, I'm looking for this 27.93 level to hold, and then a further drop here for silver. So bearish bias here, target is 27.20. Gold here also fading, prices into support resistance level, and it looks weak at the moment. So looking for a drop back down. First target is 1790, and then we are back into 1770 here. So bearish bias here, neutral to bearish bias here for gold. Sorry. Oil back into the range once again, and in this case, bias is bearish, looking for a drop here towards 59.50. And then potentially further down. So bearish bias. And first target 59.30 and second target 58.50. Copper here, copper also looking toppish here. Price has not been able to break through the resistance. So in this case, we are looking for a drop. 4.04 is the target. So neutral to bearish bias here for copper. Bitcoin here, quite a lot of volatility in Bitcoin. We have seen move back and forth. Big drop here. Now, there is a concern that we may see a further drop. So in this case, 50,670 here, this is the level to watch. Now, price was trying to go through it. So if it doesn't, if it comes back, we are looking for a further drop. And that would be something to watch out for. And it can come all the way into almost 40,000. So that would be a concern right now. Bearish bias, neutral to bearish bias here. So if it holds below 50,670, I'm looking for a further drop. S&P 500, we had a nice drop, a lot of volatility again because of Powell's testimony. So in this case, we did see a nice dip, but price has rejected that level. So in this case, if we see price go through this resistance at 38.90 level, if it goes through it, then we're going to target the top here at 39.60. But if it fails to go through, we are basically looking for retest of the bottom. And then this one could become range bound here. So right now, bias is neutral for S&P 500. Nasdaq here, this one has had a lot of volatility as well. Again, to do with Powell's testimony. He is testifying again tomorrow, so do expect volatility. In this case, we may see a retest here, and if it fails, back into the range here. So bias is neutral to bearish here for Nasdaq. Dow Jones here, this one's still looking neutral here. It seems to be holding here. As we can see, it's been trading in this range for a long time. And in this case, I'm looking for a retest again of 31,220. And only if it goes through that, then we'll target the next level lower. But until then, neutral to bearish bias, target is 31,220. And then we have DAX here. DAX as well dropped and came back. So in this case, looking for a retest of 13,800. If it holds, looking for a further move higher here. So bias here is neutral for DAX. FTSE here, FTSE both days here, it's moved in both directions. So neutral bias. Now with this one here, we may see a further move higher. Keep that in mind. We could see a move back towards the towards 67.90-ish level, but neutral bias 2 days in a row. Our bias has been neutral here. Nikkei here, Nikkei also looking neutral. Price opened and closed at exactly the same level. Now it's struggling with the support level at 29,700. So if it holds here, we could see a move back towards the high. So it's important to watch this 29,700 level because we may see another leg higher here. All right, so that's it for now. You guys have a wonderful trading day, and I'll be back again tomorrow. Bye for now.